Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Akshara Brahma Yoga, attaining the Supreme. Oh my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman, what is self, what are the fruitive activities, what is this material manifestation, what are the demigod? Please explain this to me. How does the Lord of sacrifice live in the body and what part does he live? O Madhusudana, and how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? Why does he ask all these questions now? Because in the previous chapter, if you look 29 and 30th shloka, such words Krishna said, Tad Brahma, Te Brahma, Adhyatmam, Adidevam, Adiyagnam, Prayana Kale. So this is quite logical for Arjuna to clarify, Krishna, what are these big tough terms? So all other questions, among 8 questions, have one line answer. But one question will be the rest of the book, and that is Prayana Kale, how to prepare ourselves for death. Brahman is Jiva, answered. Adhyatma, Adhyatma Adi Bhauta Adi Deva, I can explain, they come in a set. Suppose I am seeing now. So my eye becomes Adi Bhuta. Me, the soul, is Adhyatma, the experiencer. And the Devata controlling the eye called Adi Deva. You are hearing. The ear becomes Adi Bhuta. And then me, the hearer, become Adhyatma, and the Devata controlling the ear is called Adi Deva. Adi Yagna refers to the soul, to the super soul, the Paramatma, Adi Yagna, the enjoyer of all sacrifices, that is the super soul Lord himself as Paramatma feature. Where does the Paramatma reside? In the heart. Soul is also there and the Paramatma is also reside in the heart. So, how to remember Krishna at the time of death? You have to practice. So the 8 questions are answered. The indestructible transcendental living entity is called Brahman and its eternal nature is called the self. Action pertaining to development of this mental body is called karma. So if this chapter has to be summarized in one line, how to prepare for death? Simple. That's this chapter. Eternal nature is called the self. Action pertaining to development of the mental body is called karma of fruitive activities. So you do some pious activity, you engage in the worship of the Lord, then you go to the spiritual world and also participate in Krishna Leela eternally. Or you help people who are doing worship to the Lord, Paramatma is watching that and gives you some time in heaven as a blessing. But not Vaikuntha is different, heaven is different. Many people think we're heaven, God is heaven, Father in heaven. Heaven is mental world. God's kingdom is outside the mental world. Like in a jail, A class, B class, C class jail. So that is A class jail is heaven. Even heaven is much better than earth. A toilet in heaven is better than America. So you can imagine how heaven is so beautiful. And then eating meat. You eat all nonsense activity, then you have no discrimination in eating, then you get a body of a pig. Then you have no discrimination or roady embrace of women, which you're not supposed to do. Okay, dog does all the things on the road. So kind of activities you do, next body is getting ready for you. Their tendencies, your behavior. Just like my kurta is based on the shape I am having. The similar way, based on kind of mental activity you develop, you get a cross body. Physical nature is known to be endlessly mutable. The universe is the cosmic form of the Supreme Lord, and I am that Lord represented as Super Soul dwelling in the heart of every embodied being. Now comes the main point of this chapter. And the rest of the chapter is only on this topic now. Antakale chamave bhasmaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nasiyat samshayaha. Antakale, at the time of death, smaran muktva kalevaram, if you think about the Lord, then you achieve the spiritual kingdom. There is no doubt on it. And this is, who is this personality? His name is?
Deva.
You know this shloka?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, tell the shloka.
अंतकाले च मामेव स्मरणं मुक्त्वा कलेवरं यः प्रयाति स मद्भावं याति नास्त्यत्र संशय.
So at the time of death, and this is Bhishma, and not only that, he offered such beautiful prayers to Krishna. The toughest exam is example of death. And when the great people die, it's an exam to witness. We should go and watch how he does it. So Bhishma is about to leave the world. All the great sages like Narada, everybody is coming because they know he is going to pass that exam. Very great personality. And Bhagavatam records these prayers which he gives to Krishna. Beautiful prayers. So Bhagavatam is actually the most beautiful. If you want to read Mahabharata, read from Bhagavatam. It takes the juice out of that book. You want to read Ramayana, read it from Bhagavatam. It takes the juice out of that book also. From all the Vedic literatures, the nectar is in Bhagavatam. That the last work of Vedavasa, Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam. It is the ripened fruit of the Vedic knowledge. What is the most important part of the fruit? Of a tree, the fruit. And what kind of fruit? Ripened fruit. Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Shukamakad Amrita Davasamutam. And it is said a mango, when it is pecked by parrot, become more tasty. So because Bhagavatam came from the mouth of Shukamuni, whose Shuka means parrot, this Bhagavatam became a more relishable. That is Bhagavatam. If you read this phrase, you'll be stunned. See his glorification, Lord, is so beautiful. He says that actually Arjuna did not have the privilege that I had. Because Arjuna was behind Krishna, I was in the front of Krishna. And I could see his beautiful form throughout the battle. So beautiful. And he relishes the day Krishna took a chariot, and you know that he took a wheel and ran towards him. He was relishing that, and he kept offering prayers to Krishna, and he left the body on his own desire. You know, Bhishma had Ichha Mriti benediction. So very great personality. But this all you'll not come to know if you learn Mahabharata from a rubbish series. You'll never come to know. Read from Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is the original book given by Vedavyasa. Read in Bhagavatam, it is so sweet. You'll really relish. There is one more chapter in the first canto, prayers for Queen Kunti to Krishna. When Krishna enthrones Yudhishthira as the ruler and is going away to Dwarka, she comes and offers beautiful prayer. That is called Kunti Stuti. Anybody knows Kunti Stuti? Aishwarya Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Start.
3 slogas. Not
Yeah.
fully.
Namaste Purush.
Not from the beginning. In the middle, I know.
Okay, I start.
Vasudevaya. Okay. Yes.
Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishara Prakrite Param Alaksham Sarvabhutanam Antarabhiyavastam Maya Jaminika Achanam Agna Adhokshajam Avyam Nalakshase Mudha Dasha Nato Nato Dharo Yatha Tatha Paramahamsanam Muninam Avalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartam Katham Pashyema Hi Striyaha Vipada Tantu Satsasvat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavato Darshanam Yasya Apuna Bhavatashanam. You know the prayer she speaks about Mother Yashoda, Gopi Adade?
Oh no.
Which one you know?
This one, Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nantanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Nama Namo Pankajanapaya Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajagraye.
Very nice. Beautiful. Chalo, so Bhagavatam is full of prayers like this by great devotees. All the authorities, there are 12 authorities, Mahajanas, all come in Bhagavatam to give. Bhagavatam is the Bhashya on the Vedanta written by Vedavyasa himself. So what did Vedavyasa did actually is summarize the whole Vedas, just like in physics, you summarize into formulas, F equal to ma. Now the small formula in second way contains maybe 100 pages of material. You have to explain mass, explain explanation, explain force, how it works, and so many examples are illustrated. But actually our formula is only one line. Similarly, when we have physics exam, we remember some formulas we cram, rest of the thing we can do. So similarly, the Veda Vyasaji, hamare great acharya, he summarized the whole Vedic body into 550 odd sutras. Now, any Buddha condition, anybody, because all Vedic knowledge was compiled by him. If say anybody says that this is Vedic knowledge and is representing me, therefore there is Vyasa Puja, who's representing Veda Vyasa. If he is representing me, he should not contradict any one of the this 550 odd sutras. He should not contradict them. Otherwise, it is his philosophy. He should not say I am representing Veda Vyasa. I have summarized my philosophy into 550 sutras. Isn't it beautiful? Amazing. So then, Vedavyasa himself wrote a commentary on Vedanta Sutra, which is called Srimad Bhagavatam. Beautiful commentary. The first Vedanta Sutra is Atadu Brahma Jigyasa. Now let us inquire what is the absolute truth. And then the next shloka, Janvadi Asyata, absolute truth is that from which everything comes. Okay. So here, Bhagavatam is a bhashya on the Vedanta written by Vedavyasa. So beautiful. And in that, this instance comes out, Bhishma. And Bhishma prayers you should read. So beautiful. We just read actually Bhagavatam. It takes the juice out of Ramayana, juice out of Narasimha Leela, all the Leelas, the main nectar, that is Bhagavatam keeps it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called it Amala Purana. It has 18,000 verses. It is the last work of Vedavyasa. And Vedavyasa himself writes in the book. Who knows the word Shloka Janmadi Asyataha? Gaurangi, Mannat?
No,
Nobody knows.
Prabhuji.
Dharma Projita Kaitava. Dharma Projita Kaitavatra Parama Nirma Saranam Satam Vedavasra Shivadam Tapatron Moolanam Shrimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimva Parai. There is no need of any other book to say. This book is so beautiful. Himself says. So now, this is a very important principle given here, that we should not at the time of when we quit the body, we have to remember the Lord. This is also known as Ante Narayana Smriti. And this is practiced in practically every home. Somebody is about to leave the body, they put some tape, at least tape, they put Hare Krishna mantra is going on, Krishna Nama is going on. People come and read Bhagavad Gita, people do kirtan around that person. And when they're taking body to the even funeral, they keep chanting loudly. Isn't it true? They loudly chant the Lord's names. In North India, they chant Ram Nam Satya. I don't know what they do it in South India. Aishwarya Mataji, what they do it in Kerala?
Prabhuji, what? At the time of death ceremony?
Do they chant Ram Nam Satya? What do they do?
No, in some place they chant Bhagavad Gita, but nobody knew. I mean, they don't tell the purport, sometimes the slokas. Yes, in North India they say Ram Nam Satya.
Somebody was joking to me. That person is already dead. It is for the people who are carrying. Now your turn is coming. Keep chanting. Enemy has gone. For the people carrying Ram Ram Satya, they're reminding each other. Chant, chant. So the opportunity is there. Now this is a very famous incident. Who is this personality with doing what? Mannat?
Yudhishthir Maharaj.
And what is happening now? Why the four Pandavas are sleeping? What happened to them?
Because there was one demigod come. I don't know what's the name. Then he asked. They wanted to. The five Pandavas actually wanted to drink water, so they actually went to a bank or river bank, and then a demigod asked them a question, but they deny that they didn't they actually don't ask the question, and they just directly drank the water, and they were like dead. And similarly the four Pandavas did the same thing. Then when there was a chance of Yudhishthira Maharaj, he the demigod asked him a lot of questions, and the one question was that what is the most the thing which people don't have fear for. So Yudhishthir Maharaj said that the thing is that people don't when there is a chance for they think that that will never come.
Okay. So correct. Without permission, the four Pandavas tried to drink water. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So then Yudhishthira Maharaj said this famous shloka when he asked him about the most wonderful thing. He said, Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam shesha stavaram ichanti kim asharyam ataparam. He said, every moment we see death around us, but we never agree we are going to die. We think, no, 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 I'm not going to die. And we never make preparation for that. Hare Krishna, can you get me water? Hot water. Okay, now that was the first principle was this. At the time of death, try to remember the Lord. But otherwise, general, what's the rule? This is a law of transmigration. In fact, the moment we understand, yeah, it's there in the plate. The moment we understand that you're not body or soul, if you're serious about that, immediately questions come start cropping. What was in a previous life? On what basis I will get which body? Just like you're studying in a college, you know you're not going to live in the college all the time. So on what basis I will get a good job or a bad job? If you're an intelligent person, responsible student, this what strikes your mind. Similarly, if you're responsible over a life, this should strike my life. On what basis I get the next body? Yam Yam Vapi Smaran Bhavam. The basis is what kind of meditation you develop, what kind of desires you've cultivated. Tajite Ante Kalevaram, and you leave the body. Tam Tam Eveti Konteya Sadata the Bhava Bhavata. On that basis, you get the next body. Whatever your meditation, contemplation, the desires you cultivated, you get a body accordingly. And here comes the story of Bharat Maharaj. Now, Bharat Maharaj is a very great personality. We have no business to pass judgment on him. In fact, after him, the earth is known as Bharatvarsha. But one instance from his life we are discussing for our lesson. Now, he was sitting on the banks of the river in his kuti and doing tapasya. And suddenly what happens is that there is a stream of water you can see on the left-hand side. And he saw a she deer drinking water. Suddenly a lion comes, makes a big sound. And the deer in fear to protect the life jumps over the stream. You can see the stream to cross over the stream. It's not difficult trying to cross. But in a fear, always there is something called miscarriage. Therefore, even a woman pregnant, people say don't give fear. She may just deliver the child out of fear. In a fear, miscarriage happens. So child is born and she falls on the other side of the river and she runs for the life and goes to a cave and collapses and dies out of exhaustion and delivery. A small child has fallen into the water, is helpless, doesn't know anything. No mother, no father, nobody to take care. So Bharat Maharaj is very peaceful there. He says, oh, no, what happened? He comes and he picks up the small child, brings to his ashram. One thing leads to another. He becomes very attached to that small deer. It's like his own son. But the point is, why did he come to the forest? Previously, in our Vedic culture, it was very important that after 50 years across, person should focus on spiritual life and hand over his keys of the house, everything to the children. Even now, that's a very good advice. Let them run the show. Two people trying to control the house always leads to generation gap and conflicts. It can be very peaceful. But people don't like to leave the steering. They want to hold the steering, but two people cannot hold the steering. That's the problem. So he gives hands over his throne. He's quite young actually, could have ruled for some more time, but his son was ready, quickly left the palace and went. And he's in the forest doing tapasya. And he disappeared from the palace. They would not tell and go because nobody will allow you. His wives, his children, his subjects, the soldiers, even animals he has in the palace, has been horses, elephants, all was feeling separation from. You're so great person. But life is life. He's putting time to seriously practice spiritual life. Therefore, he came to forest. In a corner of the forest, sat down, and he's every day worshipping the Lord, chanting the Lord's holy name, doing all activity. But now, interestingly, he got distracted and got involved with the deer. So much so, you see, he's not able to. His focus on the Lord is lost now. If you wanted to play with the deer, then you could have better stayed at house. Why he came here? To create a new samsara. And he became very attached. It became like a child, and whole day and night he will be thinking of the deer only. And then what happened? One day he died. The deer never came back. But deer, you could have taken some emergency care and left the deer on its own nature's course. but he got totally involved in the life of the deer. Deer is running here and there, searching for another deer and his own life. But this person is, running behind the deer. And it became almost foolish what he was doing. And deer is gone away. One day, he could not find the deer and he slipped in the night from mountain and almost died. And the deer came, thinking of the deer, he left the body, became deer next life. How dangerous it is, how dangerous it is. But Krishna, just like, in a Ludo, we used to play always at 99, there's snake and ladder. There is always a snake at 99. Isn't it, Gaurangi?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So at 99, he got a snake and he slipped and got trapped. And now what happened was, Krishna was very kind to him and he gave him memory in the body of the deer that what he did mistake. And next life he was born as, what is the name in the next life, Gaurangi?
Prabhuji,
Next.
I don't know his name. Prabhuji, I know.
What is the name?
Jad Bharat.
Jadavarata. And he, at this life, why he was called Jadavarata?
Because he was the Bharat Maharaj in.
Yeah, and what is his behavior? He was silent. He did not speak. He was so serious on this life. He didn't want to make a mistake. You know what mess happened? He was such a great devotee and, got lost into that idea. So he became silent. So much so people thought he's mad. He was not mad. He was just silent. And later, some instance, one king, Rahuguna, something happened. And he spoke to Rahuguna, some spiritual knowledge. And Rahuguna fell at his feet. And 3-4 chapters of Bhagavatam, he gave beautiful knowledge, which is recorded in the Bhagavatam. Therefore, Bhagavatam is so beautiful, actually. You read the teachings of Bharat Maharaj to King Rahuguna. Now, this we have done. Why, again, who has put the poll on? Tasma sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yuddhacha mahi arpita mano buddhi mame veshasi asamshayaha. Who knows this shloka?
Prabhuji, I know.
Yeah, Chan.
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamnasura yudhya cha mayaya pratamano buddhir maya vashasya smasaya. Prabhuji,
Mam eveshasi asamshaya.
Ashamsaya.
So tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, in all the time. Therefore, tasmat means therefore. When you come to know this fact that based on the kind of thoughts you have at the point of death, your next body will be decided, then you have to practice. Sarveshu kaleshu. That's the life is only a preparation. Death is the examination. So never fight. I give you a good example. Just like when I was like Gaurangi or Manna, small child, I was a very good student. I used to study every day. All teachers used to like me, and I also used to like teachers very much. My favorite student of many teachers. I went to college, I stopped studying. And when I stopped studying, you started hating the teachers. A teacher will come, so you have to give 2 quizzes. Why you have to give 2 quizzes? You have to do this, So that is why I was fighting the system. I'm in a college, but I don't like the college. I don't like the teachers. Then why did I come there? I lost the very purpose of my studies because I don't understand. The teacher is giving quizzes only to help me that my understanding is proper. You understand? So, tasma sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhacha mai arpito mano buddhi mam eveshasi asamshayaha. Therefore, sarveshu kaleshu, in all the time, mam anusmara yuddhacha. Krishna says, always, whatever you do, you don't have to fight. Whatever you do in your day, you cannot forget Krishna. Always remember Krishna. Tasma, therefore. Because any moment death can come. We should prepare. So don't fight you design of Krishna death. Thank you, Krishna. Just like a good student. Teacher says, so there will be a final examination. They will be surprised because sometimes you will have this, you have to do notes, you have to do practical. Thank you, teacher. I'm ready. But the teacher says, I got a good student. So always life is preparation. This world is a hospital. It's not a hotel that we are thinking for our enjoyment. It's a hospital for my reformation. When the doctor comes and announces this medicine, this medicine, this medicine, this thing. Yes, doctor, I'm ready and enthusiastic because I know if I follow you, I'll become cured. So we should have faith. If you follow the life exam that Krishna has set for me, and each person Krishna sets a different. Maya has, I'll not compare Maya's exam and Krishna's exam. Maya's exam is different from different people. Normal college exam, same for everybody. Maya's exam occur anytime. College exam date is fixed. Maya exam can happen anywhere. College exam in examination hall. Nowadays they also introduce online. Little they're trying to imitate Maya. Then another very important time, Maya will never give an exam more than your capacity. College will make that mistake many times. Is it in Manna sometimes you get an exam more than your capacity?
Yes, Prabhuji.
They teach in the class how to make rice and examination is how to make vegetable pulao. They teach very simple white rice, how to make white rice, and exam is how to make bishi beta baat. Something very complicated. So similarly, but Maya never makes a mistake. So just imagine if this much you understand, every moment of the life is happy and fun now. Don't fight death. Yes, thank you very much, my Lord. I will work for that. Why are you fighting with it? You cannot do anything about it. College you go, there is the final exam. No, I don't like it. You will make protest. Do protest. What's the use of that? It will crush you. College will crush you, throw you out of the college. So similarly, life, I don't like death, like this scientist, silly scientist. We will change that. You cannot do anything about it. Death is as sure as death. It will come. There were many jokers in the history who tried to break the law of death. They were, tried, like Ravana tried. He tried to make a stair directly to heaven without, any tapasya. Or Hiranyakashipu tried, neither in day, neither, nothing worked. All were put to death. If so-called scientists, they're saying they'll make some medicine, so you'll not die. They'll also put to death before they make their medicine itself. So this doesn't work. We just accept the plan of the Lord. Don't fight with it. Happily. Yes, my Lord, I accept it. Thank you. Every moment, whatever happens in life, thank you, my Lord. Thank you, my Lord. And at the same time, try to do your best. Then life Vishram Purna Sakayati. Every moment becomes fun. And when suppose a student want to quickly takes his attitude, then every minute exam will come. It may be tough, doesn't matter. You maybe in few years pass the exam of life. Then called Jivan Mukta Sa Uchyate. You are liberated even though you are living in this world. Maya cannot touch you, like Prahlad Maharaj, our hero. Even a small boy was liberated, totally Mukta Purusha. His father every day tried to kill him. There is not one speck of anger in his system. He never got angry at his father, even though every day he was trying to kill him. So peaceful. And even in that fear, imagine how much fear father, anybody will get scared. What he's fear. He's not scared of anything. In Gurukul, he told all the boys what is Krishna consciousness and made everybody a devotee. Can you imagine how great he is? He's our hero. Now, Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena Chetasa Jnanagamina Paramam Purusham Divyam Yati Parthanu Chintayan. He meditates on the Supreme Personality Godhead. His mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated on the path. He, O Partha, is sure to reach me. Now comes another Abhyasa. You have to practice. And that is your test. So exam comes, you have to prepare. No, what's your preparation? Every day you have to practice. You have to read. How much for an exam? We do so many things. So prepare. Because life is a big examination. So there was this person who had to be given a supply. He failed, and then Krishna rescued him. Young boy, one day went to the forest. What is his name, Gaurangi? You know his name? Name of this person? Brahmana name? What is the name?
Jamila.
Yes. What happened?
Sorry, Prabhuji, I didn't unmuted.
So what happened? What happened?
Yes, Prabhuji.
What happened? What is the scene?
They seen that like
he went to the forest to collect some flowers because father was the priest. Okay, I'll tell in brief. Okay. So father was a priest and went to the forest to collect flowers for puja at home. Very famous priest. Lot of dakshina they were getting. And all the town, Kannauj near Kanpur, whole town used to respect this family. And then what happened? The father said to the son, today there is big puja, my dear son. Go to the forest, bring some flowers. He went to the forest. He was young, married. He has so many qualities. He was like a jewel boy. And in the forest, when he's collecting flowers, he heard some sound. And I've just, you look, when you are doing the quizzes, you can locate. I think somebody can in the WhatsApp group also, you people can share, moderators. You can share that puppet show Ajamila, ISKCON puppet show Ajamila YouTube. Let them all enjoy. Very nice puppet show. So here he hears, some sound, giggling a boy and a girl. He's a married person, understand what's going on. I should get out from this. 1 minute, no? Nothing will happen to me. Nothing will happen. Well, just 1 minute I'll watch. Nothing will happen to me. Don't play with fire. That's what he did. And he goes and peeps in. And he's, oh, that's a local prostitute. Small town, people know everybody. And that's a man known for such activity. And then at least pick up and go, no, 1 more minute. Why 1 more minute? Get out of this place. This is dangerous. No, 1 more minute. Nothing will happen to me. Nothing will happen to me. That's how you get trapped. Don't play with fire. That's what all of us do and get burned. 1 more minute, 1 more minute. Gone. Dhyayate vishaya pumsa sangate shubhajayate sanga sanjayate kama. She's so beautiful, this prostitute. And anybody can enjoy. She's prostitute. I can pay and enjoy. I also want. Kama, Krodha. Why he? Why not me? Krodha, the Bhapati Samoha. Now his mind is getting delusion. He's forgetting all his slokas, shastra, he knows, memory is going, intelligence, don't get into these things, you're already married person, you cannot do all this thing. Buddhi Nasho, I love her. That, when Buddhi Nasha happened, they make this nonsense statement, I love her. So many youngsters I meet, particularly school time, nowadays school time itself, 8, 9, 10th class. Sir, what happened? Sir, I dropped 1 year. You dropped 1 year. What happened to you? Sir, I was having one girlfriend, so I could not study. So I tell them, sir, it is not love, it is lust. No, sir. In my case, it is love. I don't know how many of you will say the same thing. In my case, I say, you know what is love first? Sir, what is love? Love means you want to benefit another person. And lust means you want to take other person and use him for your pleasure. Now tell me it is love or lust. And if they are good and innocent, after some reflections, they say, yes, sir, it is lust. A boy sees a girl on the street, he wants to touch her. He'll get a slap. What does he do? I love you. He's teaching her. He's cheating her. And the girl looks at him, husband, beautiful boy, I also love you. It's all cheating. This word is the world of cheating. There is no love in this world. So thank you. So now what happens, he comes back home and he tells his wife, that, you're working so hard, so I'll get you a servant. So I don't know, what are you planning up to? I don't know. And she goes and talks to the prostitute. See, what's your daily charge? See, daily I charge, take modern term, I charge 10,000 per person. I'm a beautiful prostitute. Okay, I'll pay you that much amount because we can get any amount of dakshina. Really, huh? You say, yes, you come to my house, you don't have to look for customers every day. Okay. But you have to give me 10,000 per day. And also note, I drink every day. That's okay. He's ready to compromise anything. She comes to home and immediately the father asks her, what is it? First day he tries to give some excuse. But second, third, slowly mother, father notice something else is happening. And they confront the son. My dear son, you're a grown-up boy now. But I have to ask an explanation. What's going on here? Father, I love her. Beta, you're a married person. Don't speak this nonsense. Then his wife comes crying. All the three sat with him. Nothing goes through. Only one statement. I love her. I don't know what's your problem. I love her, love her. Wife goes crying rest of the life to the parents' house and her parents' house. And his father and mother think for some time. Very saintly they were. They thought about their son. They prayed to the Lord. My Lord, do something for my son. I don't know what you can do. And they left the house. We cannot stay in this house now. Our integrity doesn't allow to stay in such a house if this is going on. They went away. Imagine their own house had left for the son. Mother said, let it be with the son. And, maybe. And this boy was uncontrolled. He produced 10 children from the prostitute. From 20 years of life, where he slipped roughly, he was a young married person, 85 years. 65 years, he's gone crazy. 10 sons he produced from the prostitute. One mistake, 1 minute. This is one of the instances of mind control I teach. And then 85 years, he produced a last son, the 10th son. 3-year-old, the son was there. And the Lord, one thing he did at the 10th son, Lord always, one person, when he went for collection of dakshina now to the town, nobody gave him 1 rupee. Think anybody will give you money? People said, shameless person. Now you want dakshina after doing all that. So he came back home. I love her. I don't know what is their problem. I love her. I'm taking great pleasure in speaking that word so that I can pull out from your out all that movie they speak, no? Pyar ho gaya, Mohammed. That's what is same quality, not 1 inch better than this fellow. And today it's revealed most of them take drugs also. And people watch them as heroes and waste their time. They have better things to do. And real hero, they will not hear Bhagavad Gita. Real hero is speaking. Real heroes, Leela, they Bhagavad, they will not read. They always like dummy heroes because their life is also useless. So, so then uh, after that, he went to people to give dakshina. They say, "Get out! What is your problem? I love her." So get lost. You love her. Then he said, "No, I love her, so I'll do anything for her." So he started gambling some money. So out of gambling, sometimes he make money, sometimes he don't make money. Then then next thing he started stealing, and in stealing sometimes he get caught, and then knife murders also happen. So from a pious boy, he became really a very bad person. And amount of sins he committed, Chitragupta keeps an account. Somebody asked him why Chitragupta has no other work, why he keeps writing. People like privacy, but no, sir, out of love, the Lord is noting and his agents are noting. Just because, like a mother wants to know everything you're doing. Similarly, Krishna wants to know everything you're doing because he wants to shape you into a wonderful, responsible individual. So you have to accept responsibility for your irresponsible works so that you become a gentleman. The whole record is being kept for every person. They're writing going on. So he had a big volume written up. So there, this situation, 85-year life was going on. One person was not spitting at him. That is God. Now, recently we had the instance of the person in Delhi was to be executed. And the mother came to the court. I don't know whether I told in this class. In front of everybody, the mother cried, "Please, mere bete ko maaf kar do. Galti ho gaya." On behalf of the son, Galti, I was very touched when I saw. Galti ho gaya, maaf kar do. I was just thinking Krishna's love. Krishna never forgets it. Galti ho gaya, maaf kar do. And she went to the mother of the girl. You can pardon him. Small boy, he did. Chota bacha hai, kale 20 saal ka hai, sudhar sakta hai. So you can just think about it. The same way, now you just think about love of Krishna. Whatever you do, you still thinking of love. How do I correct this boy? Mistake happened. And Krishna inspired him to make his last son Narayana. And now something good happened in the house after a long time. Whole day Narayana name is in chanting. Narayana, get up. Narayana, 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 whole day. Narayana, did you eat something today? Narayana. And this was going on in the house whole day. And then finally, one day what happened? His time of death came. And the Yamuduta surrounded him. And they came to catch him. So he said, "Hey, why you have come? I'm a Brahmana." I'm a Brahmana. What kind of activities they do? Less than an animal, you are shameless fellow. And they tie the subtle body. We have 3 bodies, I told you. Spiritual body, subtle body, and the gross body. They tie the subtle body and they want to take him with the soul to the Yamaraj for punishment. Suddenly, he could helpless in the situation he was. And he doesn't know anything except the child whom one thing he loved him. "Narayana, save me!" Loudly cried, with tears in his eyes. Book. Suddenly, generally Yamudutas come, Vishnudutas are 1 in a million. But here in this situation, both landed up now. Vishnudutas also came. What happened? What happened? Stop. Don't fear, Rajamila, don't fear. Hey, leave him alone. They started instructing the Yamudut. Who are you? And the debate started then. And as usual, Vishnudutas are like agents of the Lord. They cannot be argued. He is a sinless person. Don't touch him. By chanting the Narayana name, not only this life, he has washed the sin for millions of lives. Huh? They can't understand what's happening here. And they are driven away from that place and they go. You should see the puppet show I put because so many questions will come from this pastime. But one thing now please chant Hare Krishna mantra. It is very powerful. Name of Lord is very, very powerful. Then he wants to pay obeisance to them because they saved him from hell, but they vanish away. So he goes to Haridwar. He leaves his 85-year-old man now, walks out of the house, leaves a prostitute for her own good. His children are grown up anyway, goes to Haridwar and sits down and starts chanting. intensely chants the name of the Lord, keeps purifying his heart. He knows he has to correct. He had tears of repentance. To hell with me what I did. What did I do to my wife? What did I do to my parents in the name of so-called love? and he finally, when his heart is totally pure, the same Vishuddhas come, take him back to the kingdom of God. And he drops his that body, takes a spiritual body, and eternally stays in the spiritual world to serve the Lord. So we should meditate upon the Lord in this way, as one who knows everything, who's the oldest, who's the controller, who's smaller than the smallest, who's the maintainer of everything, who's beyond the mental conception, who's inconceivable, who's always a person. Like that. You cannot imagine what is God. The description is given in the Shastra, and Krishna fits into the description of God. And the Devatas also don't make the mistake. Brahma is always praying to Narayana. Beautiful prayers he keeps offering. We chant the prayer. Venum kvanantam yes mannat.
Venum kavantamaravindalayataksam Barahavatam samakhilam sundarangam kandarpakotikam maniya vishesha shobham govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Yes, Aishwarya Mataji, any one of the shlokas of Brahma Samhita?
Ankaniyasya sakalendriyavrittimandi Pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti Ananda chinmaya satuchala vigrahasya Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Gaurangi, anyone from your side, Brahma Samhita?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Ishvara Parma Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Ananda Radha Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So Brahma is offering prayers. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha. Anadi, he doesn't have origin. Adi, he's the origin of everything. Sarva Karana Karam is it called. So Brahma is always offering prayers, surrounded by the Devatas. Lakshmi is looking so beautiful in this picture, very nicely painted. See, I never take any, all the paintings I'm showing you are in-house ISKCON painting made by devotees. The very painting is like a spiritual advancement, just seeing the painting. And here is Lord Shiva. He's doing the similar thing. Okay. Rama Rameti, who knows the shloka? Aishwarya Mataji.
Prabhuji, which one?
Rama Rameti, Sahasranama.
Yeah, Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane.
And who says the Lord Shiva? So Lord Shiva also is a great devotee of Lord Rama. He's also always chanting. At this moment, he's meditating on Sankarshana, another form of the Lord, who gives him the empowerment for destruction when the destruction has to happen. So he's also always, they are very clear who is God. Only we are confused. They are not confused. Shastra is not confused. There is no confusion in Shastra. There is no confusion in Acharyas. Confusion is people who don't read Shastra and then they make some khichdi in their mind. So when you present what the Shastra is telling, and it's confusion. But around the world, we say chant Hare Krishna mantra, they chant. In India, but what about Ganesha? Hare Baba, they're all servants of Lord. Okay, Ganesha, Brahma Samhita, Yadapada Pallava. Yes,
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yadapad pallava yugama vinidhaya kumbha dvande pranama same saganadi raja vihantu malamasya jagatrayasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
There's a beautiful shloka explaining Ganesha also in Brahma Samhita. He's always meditating on the lotus feet of Narasimha to get his power to remove Vigna from our life. But people don't know all this. Just like I go to a college, there is a director, there is a chaparasi, there is a secretary, there are dean, there are faculty. One is to know all the things prospectively. Just like in other religions, there is only little information given about director. That is also, not even name is given properly. Here the name of director is given, his form is given, everything. That is Krishna. Krishna's whole administration is given, all the devatas, including Indra, everybody is explained. Whole universe is explained in detail. And what do? Don't read that and then get confused. And then make khichdi out of it. Now all are equal. All are equal. Chaparasi is also same. Secretary is also same. Directors, all are same. That's what people come to teach us. Now you people, very cripple-minded you are. You only say Krishna Narayana. I'm very broad-minded. Just like you took practically all the bhajana mandalis. Every bhajana they do equally. They do Krishna bhajana also. But they do all. So that is not correct. Our focus should be, special respect should be definitely given to Krishna and Vishnu. You can respect all the devatas. They are worthy of our respect. Particularly Lord Shiva is almost Vishnu. They have to be given all the respect. But special position is always to give to Krishna, because that relationship is the only one which is spiritual. And there you can maintain the relationship without any return. It's like Hanuman served Lord Rama, our hero, without any return. After the war, did he say, you have to give me something now? Totally, that's a spiritual relationship. Material relationship with Devi Devata, there's always some return. Kama sita hita jnana yajante anna devata. Yesterday we discussed in the 7th chapter. So, Mamupetya punarjanma dukkale mashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhi paramam gata. Mamupetya punar, Krishna is saying, if you come to me, this effort I told you, Bhagavad Gita is nothing but a love letter by Krishna. Mamupetya punarjanma, you will not take punarjanma. Dukkale ashashvatam. It's the place of, yes, who knows the shloka?
Prabhuji, I know.
Yes.
Mamupetya tu punarjanmam dukhalyam shashvatam na apurvanti mahatmana samsiddhi paramam gatah.
Very nice. Beautiful shloka. Mamupetya punarjanma. So if you come to me, you'll not take birth again in this world. Why? My dear child, my place is so beautiful. Like a father begging his child. Sometimes you've seen father falls at the feet of the child out of love. Not that he is greater, son has become greater, no, out of love. So Krishna is with such an appealing voice requesting us. Who are we? We are not even insect in front of him. He's the Supreme Lord. When Krishna met Sudama, and Sudama met Krishna and he came back, then when he was coming back, he was thinking, who is Krishna? Narayana, Supreme Lord. Who am I? Small living entity. He's so great. Still he was so affectionate to me. That's how we should think. Krishna is so great, but still he's thinking, he's taking all the effort, coming to down to this world and requesting, my dear child, come back. What more are you thinking? What more do you want? Making all arrangement for you to live in this world, creating lakhs of species, millions of arrangement for your enjoyment, staying in your heart and watching all the activities you're doing, guiding you, correcting you, and then personally coming down and giving a request. What more you want? Personally giving a request. Please, my dear child, come back home. But it is we who are stubborn, and we will not come. Therefore, Prabhupada used to say, we are like kutte ki poonch, teda. Kitna bhi kar lo, nahi honge seedha. Where is God? There is no God. Imagine, you just think, don't you think your mother's heart will break if you make the statement to your mother? Mother's come in front of you and say, my dear child, come back home. Who are you? I have no mother. Don't you think you'll break her heart? That's what we are doing actually. We break the heart of the Lord every day. That's all we are. We think we are very great. Actually, fact is we are actually headache on the Lord. Headache means sir dard. अब ये क्या कर दिया यार अभी फिर क्या कर दिया all the time Lord is watching you in every oh my God what is he thinking, because God is Paramatma in the heart watches everything including your thoughts. Shastra says just like you can smell a flower without touching, the Lord can smell your desires, your activity, everything is watching. He does not even blink his eyes. His love is so intense. So Krishna is saying, with the same love, my dear child, come back to the spiritual. Why? This world is temporary and miserable. Why you want to stay here? At least in the spiritual world, present context, there is no corona. At least that you can develop desire to go back. Samsiddhi paramam gata. So understanding this, you can go. This is Dhruva Maharaj. He worshipped the Lord, and at the end part of his life, the Vaikuntha Vimana came. And also, not only that, he, at that time when Vaikuntha Vimana came, he said, what about my mother? So he gave a recommendation for his mother. He said, she's the one who sent me to see the Lord when I was a small child. Yes, the recommendation worked. One more Vimana was called, and mother also went back. So spiritual life, Shifari chalta hai. Krishna is a person. From the highest planet to the lowest planet, all are places of misery where repeated birth and death takes place. But what attains to my abode, son of Kunti, never take birth again. The human calculation, 1,000 ages together, put together, the duration of Brahma's one day is also the duration of his night. So the day and night. The Brahma's days manifest, all living entity come into being. At the arrival of Brahma night, they are annihilated. This calculation I showed in the 4th chapter. Please, you can go through the all calculation. Again and again, the day comes and this host of being is active. Again, the nightfall of sun. Oh, Partha, they are helplessly dissolved. You can't stay here. This world is constant pralaya is happening. Every day, evening when Brahma sleeps, it destroys the world. and he sleeps and gets up again, he creates. For him, it's like taking bath and putting a dhoti. So easy, putting a tilak, that much is effort for him to create. So easy thing for him. And Krishna now says, Parastasmat bhavo anyat vyakta avyakta sanatanaha. Paras, beyond this metal world that we see, there is spiritual Lord of the Lord. And it is never annihilated. That is eternal. Sanatanaha, it is eternal word. Krishna is one more place it will come. Natadabhashate shuryo na shashankana pavakaha. There is no need of sun and moon there. Yadgatvana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. It's so beautiful place. Please come back. So Krishna is glorifying little in Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavatam, it explains the whole. You see devotees visiting Vaikuntha like 4 Kumaras who curse Jaya Vijaya. When they enter Vaikuntha, they describe the Vaikuntha so beautiful. Bhagavatam we read in more detail. Gita, there is no time to describe Vaikuntha. That which is Vedanta is one more shloka, described in unmanifest and infallible. That which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which having attained it, one never return, that is my supreme abode. Bhagavad Gita 8.21. This is the discussion of the universe. I think I've done a couple of times already. And this is sweet pastimes of the Lord. You can go and join if you are fortunate. And this is a prayer. Mukundamala. Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaja Panjarantam. Anybody knows this prayer? Aishwarya Mataji?
Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaja Panjarantam Advaime Vishadu Manasa Rajahamsa Pranaprayana Samaye Kapavada Pittai Kantavarodana Vido Smaranam Kudaste.
A great Acharya. He's in a Shri Sampradaya. We are in Brahma Sampradaya. He's from Lakshmi, and all of us were all from Vaikuntha, and they offered beautiful prayers to the Lord. And he's saying, my Lord, let me die now, because now I can chant your name. When I'm old, my throat, cough will, I may not be able to utter your name. Such a beautiful prayer. Okay, and then at the last one shloka comes, Vedeshu Yagneshu Tapashu Chaiva Dhaneshu Yat Punya Phalam Pradishtam Atyedi Tas Sarvam Idam Viditva Yogi Param Sano Upayadi Chadyam. He said, whatever result you can get by studying the Vedas, by yagnas, by tapasya, by charity, everything. Suppose you're here in the class today, I could have some yagna, I could have some punya, I could have some shastra, dhyana. Don't worry, everything will be given to you. That's what Krishna is saying here. All the results I'll give you. Just do devotion service. Person who accepts the path of bhakti is not bereft of any result which comes from any other processes. So beautiful. Don't have to bother or anything. Everything is given by performing bhakti to the Lord. Okay, chapter is done. We almost have reached the 8 o'clock today. Hare Krishna. Aishwarya Mataji, what do we do? 3 minutes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
3 minutes, 5 minutes.
Arti. Okay. Yes.
No,
you can
what
take
we do?
questions.
Mataji, what we do? Questions, so will be now not no time. I can take tomorrow the questions. What we can do? 5 minutes, you can make them chant. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
I'll make breakout room. How many are there, admin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Prabhuji, shall we chant like this only? Let Aishwarya Mata chant and we'll chant behind her.
So together we chant here itself. Everybody.
Yeah, together we'll all chant together.
Chalo, 5 minutes we are remaining. You start, everybody, because I will have to make setup below. So everybody start chanting. Okay, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. You can, I'll unmute everybody so everybody can chant. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Start chanting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.